Good morning, hello, good evening everyone. This is Lord Tankboy back again with another video. I am uploading this video to do my English project. I am supposed to make a movie review, a 15-minute podcast reviewing the movie based on its depiction of the chivalric romance genre. My review should outline the elements and themes of a chivalric romance as I make specific references to the movie's details. I could watch, 4 movies. I could choose from 4 of those: Disney Sword in the Stone, First Knight, A Knight's Tale, and Star Wars. So, as we know, Star Wars recently came up. A new Star Wars movie came up. I decided to watch Star Wars. I have not watched Star Wars since when I was in elementary or kindergarten. That was the last time when I watched it, and I totally did not understand the story. So what happens if I did not understand the story? I kind of hated the movie. I was like, this movie, I did not like it. But since I grew up and I kind of know the story, I kind of know a lot of stuff. I watched it again. So this Star Wars movie, Episode 4: A New Hope, was the very first Star Wars movie I think made. Although it was named Episode 4 because after this movie was released, they kind of made the beginning and the after episodes of this episode, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, and as a beginning and stuff. So this is Episode 4, but the very first made in 1977. Let me warn you beforehand, if you somehow ended up on the wrong side of YouTube and watching this video, I recommend you to go back the page and start watching other videos. Or if you have a lot of time, you have totally nothing to watch, you can try opening other windows, like do your homework or something while listening to me, while I'm speaking gibberish right here. So let us jump on. So the Star Wars movie, probably I should start talking about the summary. I mean, a brief story about it. So there are these bad guys and this rebellious group who tried to go against the bad guys. So the bad guys were trying to eliminate the rebellious groups, and in one of the spaceships was this princess called Leia Organa, and they attacked the spaceship. Leia asked help and left a message on this robot called R2-D2. R2-D2 was on a mission to go to Obi-Wan Kenobi, give the message, and make him come and rescue her. I guess she had kind of like a schematic or blueprint of the spaceship or the space station the Darth Vader was on. This thing called the Death Star. It was pretty big. I think it was like the size of a moon or something. That has a lot of weapons, and that was kind of like the beginning. And Luke Skywalker kind of obtained R2-D2. There's several stuff happened, but Luke Skywalker got R2-D2. R2-D2 was kind of like, I have to go to Obi-Wan Kenobi. So Luke Skywalker went to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and originally, Ben Kenobi was hiding his identity, which I will talk about it a bit later. And Obi-Wan Kenobi was called Ben Kenobi, but he was hiding his identity. So Obi-Wan Kenobi looked at the hologram movie kind of thing R2-D2 showed. So Obi-Wan was like, "We will go to this other place, and we will help her." And Luke Skywalker was originally reluctant on going, but stuff happened, like his guardian was killed, and so he was like, "I'll follow you." And they went. They got kind of like trapped, I guess, in a way, or they got dragged in by the Death Star when they were traveling on their way, and they had a lot of fights. And then Luke Skywalker and his people somehow got out the Death Star, and he arrived at this rebellious people group base, and they got to kind of pay back, I guess. So hopefully you understood the movie with my horrible summary I have right here. And so let us hop in. Romance genre, aka chivalric romance. It has several kind of like aspects of this genre. So one of them is stories of chivalric codes. A lot of the characters in this movie show the chivalric codes. So it's like if they're showing it, it's one of the aspects. World of Knights, usually medieval and other heroes. Yes, Obi-Wan Kenobi was in a way a knight. It's not a medieval story at all. It's a futuristic, even futuristic compared to now. It's like super long away, but it's still, you know, a story about knights and heroes. The movie is, I guess, relatively light-hearted toned. You know, the story is not too sad or heavy. You know, it's not like the Japanese movie where, you know, a dog a family was taking good care of died and they were very sad. It's a very sad story. No, it's not a story like that. It's more of a story where, you know, you're reading, it's not exactly fantasy, but kind of, you know, reading a fantasy, but kind of like that. It's not that heavy story. Idealized world, yes, I think it is for most of the people. I personally don't think so, but I think for many people, different, you know, space vehicles like, I don't know, spacecrafts, I don't know how to call it, but I think those are pretty better for them, as you know, compared to reality. You know, we can only go to space very often, you know, very rarely using space shuttles and stuff. But in the movie, we have this special, I don't know, they have this probably this special rocket boosters that can go up real, I don't know, from the planet to other, you know, very like easily. So I guess in a way it's idealized world. I don't like spaceships, I like tanks, just throwing that out there. And other one is consistent theme. I think this theme was all about, you know, beating the bad guys and trying to prevent the whole world from being invaded by these bunch of bad people. So I think you have the consistent theme. Night wandering, or, you know, the main characters went through a lot of stuff, so it is one of the aspects of the movie, or, you know, chivalric genre. And courtly love, I personally don't think so. I don't know, Luke Skywalker was kind of interested in this Princess Leia, but I don't think that was love, so probably not. So now that I talked about the, you know, brief genres aspect, probably I should hop into this chivalric codes the characters shows. My grammar is horrible. Don't judge me. Chivalric codes. So, different characters there were in this movie. Probably I should start talking about this main character called Luke Skywalker, as I keep mentioning before. He was an ordinary guy. He used to be an ordinary guy. He just lived in together with the two guardians, Owen Rars and Belle Whiteson. Hopefully I'm reading their names right, because I'm just having these big notes out, the movie's notes out, so that I will not forget the movie, because crap, I don't remember stuff. So Luke Skywalker was taking care of them, and he was not in a close relationship with fightings, you know, shootings and a lot of stuff. He was just living his ordinary life. But, you know, he was in a situation after that, caused by R2-D2 and Obi-Wan, where he had to fight. White troopers killed and burned his guardians, the Owen Rars and Belle Whitesons, so he had nowhere to go. He had nothing to do, so he was like, I will follow you, Obi-Wan, I will go with you. So I think Luke Skywalker was a very brave man, because, you know, you do not want to hop into an enemy base, like, but Luke Skywalker did. So I think he is very brave, and also I think he is, I'm gonna talk about this again later, but I think he had a very honorable scene at the very last where he got to destroy the Death Star. So I think, yeah. And about the next character which I will be talking about, Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was one of the Jedis. Jedis are like, you know, they're like a bunch of people who I guess, like the Round Table Knights. If you compare them to Round Table Knights, they're like, you know, it's like a group of knights, very honorable knights. They were very strong. Jedi was kind of like that. They had this superpower called Force. may the Force be with you, Force, and Obi-Wan Kenobi got to use those Force, and Jedi's had to follow this specific, I guess in a way, more chivalric codes. They had to follow these specific Jedi's ways, and Obi-Wan Kenobi was one of the Jedi, so he was, in a way, very knightly, and he showed it. But rather than Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think Darth Vader kind of showed like what knight should be like. Darth Vader was the bad guy, he was the antagonist, but he still showed what knight looks like. So there is a scene: Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, which I will be talking about later, Obi-Wan and the robots were in the spaceship. They were kind of got dragged in to the Death Star by probably this kind of gravitational dragging machine kind of thing, and then they had to, you know, kind of like, I guess in a way, surrender to them. But when they came into the spaceship, Darth Vader was like, I sense something. Actually, Darth Vader was the pupil, or Obi-Wan Kenobi taught Darth Vader about the Jedis and stuff. So in a way, Darth Vader and Obi-Wan knew each other, and Darth Vader sensed Obi-Wan Kenobi coming, and he was like, I must fight alone. The thing is this, you know, if you see an antagonist, he will probably bring in his allies. I mean, you know, he will probably command his people, and just like 10 people just go to him and beat him and kill him. You know, yeah, that's, you know, if you're in actual war, that might be what you're gonna do, but that's not like very honorable. 1v1 fight between one person and another person is a very, I think it's kind of considered as a very honorable like kind of scene, and Darth Vader was like, I must fight this person alone. And I think that's very knightly, and he has a lot of courage, and in a way, he's kind of like honoring the fight. And he actually, like, you know, Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi like actually faced each other alone, and they fought using this beam servo. I mean, I don't know how to call it. Lightsaber, was it? Lightsaber, and it was pretty cool. So another character I just mentioned a while ago was Han Solo. I think he was kind of like the taxi driver you see around, like right now. He kind of had a fast spaceship, and you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi talked to Han Solo whether, you know, he can drive them to this another place. Han Solo was not a very knightly person at the beginning. He was only interested in money. Han Solo had this spaceship. He had to return this debt he had, so he wanted some money. And since he was only interested in money, when he was actually caught in Death Star, he was actually, you know, crying out like a baby of why he, you know, he was like, why am I right here? Why are you guys like putting me in a situation like this? And he was, you know, he was acting kind of like a baby. I'm about to scream out, get along with it, but you know, I'm talking to a screen, so you know. Han Solo, so he was not a very knightly person. I can say he did not have enough courage, because if he had enough courage, he will be able to adapt to each situation and be like, oh, I'm being surrounded by enemies, so I should probably fight back. Or after knowing that this Princess Leia has been captured in the detention room, you know, he should have gone to rescue together with Luke Skywalker. Well, he did, but he was reluctant on doing it. So, yeah, but he actually did grow up. Characters do grow in the movies. At the very last scene, when Luke Skywalker, as I talked about it, they were kind of trying to destroy the Death Star. So they had this torpedo kind of thing. They had to drop it inside the reactor, the center of the Death Star. And Luke Skywalker was kind of like one of the only ones left. And he had to like accomplish this mission, or else Death Star would, you know, shoot a laser beam kind of thing to their base, and they will be doomed. But right at the moment when Darth Vader was about to kill Luke Skywalker with his special spaceship kind of thing, Han Solo interrupted them and kind of messed around with the battle and allowed Skywalker to give it, Han Solo gave Luke Skywalker a chance to drop the torpedo. So he grew. He had the courage to do that at the very end of the episode. So I think he's actually cool. He actually got to grow. That's awesome. Han Solo had this another animal, dog or bear-looking kind of animal called Chewbacca. I'm not gonna talk a lot about him, but he was very brave. Although I guess he was kind of like going along together with Han Solo. He was still brave enough to fight against the White Troopers. So I think we can also honor him in that. But one thing I wanted to talk about with this one robot. There was R2-D2. There was he was very, I guess, loyal to his own owner. It's a robot, so I guess he has to be. But so R2-D2's owner was Obi-Wan, and I guess also Leia. He was given a mission to deliver this message to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he actually tried to accomplish it. So he was being loyal to his. Is it even he, or I guess I should say he? Its owner. And robots don't have courage, so I cannot talk about how it is courageous. But C-3PO, R2-D2, I don't know. I cannot read his emotions. I mean, I don't even think he has one. But 3PO was kind of like more of a human-like robot, AI kind of thing. So this 3CPO, it's a golden robot, human-like robot, which totally annoyed me during the whole movie. I'm sorry, my throat is hurting a bit. This C-3PO was kind of a jerk the whole time. He did not have enough courage to adapt to the situation he was in. Which I mean here is like R2-D2 and C-3PO was in this very small pod from the spaceship Leia was in at the very beginning of the movie, and they dropped to this planet. It was a desert. C-3PO was crying out, "Why did I follow you here? Screw you, I'm going alone." And he was a jerk basically. He was Han Solo's. The beginning part of Han Solo was kind of similar to C-3PO. They could not adapt to the situation. That's what I mean. Because if you're in that situation, it may be hard to do it, but at least adapt to the situation. So don't stop being. Being a crybaby and screaming out about how bad the situation is in and complaining about it doesn't make any difference. So C-3PO kind of annoyed me the whole movie, but he's one of the characters, so I thought I should talk about it. Okay, so that's about 18 minutes of the video, including the introduction. I think it's about the right time. I'm sorry if I bored you. I tried my best. I tried my best to understand the movie and put this in words and make this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you're having a bad day, maybe playing World of Tanks can help. World of Tanks fun. And if you are looking for any fun videos, try looking at Mighty Jingles on YouTube. His videos are very interesting and very fun. Yeah, see you guys next time. Have a great time. Have a great rest of the day. Bye bye.